All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, it is time to go over EB-02. It's time to go over all the new EB-02 cards. I'm going to try to make this a pretty quick video because we're going to go through all, what is it, like 65 or 75 cards, something like that from EB-02. The EB sets are a little bit smaller than usual, so we're going to pack it all into one video, all the colors, all that stuff. We've got a lot to go over, so let's get right into it. But real quick, let me tell you what else we're going to do in today's video in case you don't want to check out those cards. Skip to the end of the video because we will have a game of green-purple Doffy versus red-blue Marco. Okay? So that's kind of the order, right? The overwhelming majority of this video will be an EB-02 breakdown where we go over every single card and break them down. And then at the end of that, after that, we're going to have one game on the sim of green-purple Doffy versus red-blue Marco. And then we'll break down the deck list and we'll finish it out in that way. Okay, guys? All right, now you know what you're getting into. I'll have everything timestamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. And if you guys ever have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to put those in the comment section below as well. Or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. One more thing before we get started, before we launch on this, guys. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. Okay, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And at the time you're recording this, guys, it is Monday. So we're going to be going straight into that. And tonight, I think we're going to be messing around with a green-black e-show list tonight. I've got some ideas. I think I might have a little bit of something there that we'll see. I mean, it might not be anything good, but you know, I've got some, we're going to be doing some theory crafting. We're going to be doing some brainstorming tonight. Some real, we're going to be having fun with some craziness. So be sure to check that out. And then, you know, so Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays now, that is a permanent thing from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Be sure to check it out if you can, you know, when you get a chance. One more thing about that, we will also be going over a new leader that was spoiled very recently in there. Not from EB-02, from OP11. So during the stream tonight, before we get launched into the green-black e-show action, we're going to be talking about a certain leader that was just spoiled, or at least pretty recently. Okay, now, let's do this, guys. Let's get into this. We got a lot to go over. Shrink my head down into this little square, and here we go. So first up, let's go over all these leaders real quick. I'm going to go backwards. These are new special gold foil alt arts or something like that from all of the leaders from Block 2. Okay, so that would Block 2 would be everything from OP-05 to OP-08. Okay, that's all of Block 2, right? So 1 through 4 was Block 1 blocks, and then Block 2 is 5 through 8. Okay, EB-01, excuse me, EB-01 is part of that as well. But notice this, guys, all of these new leaders have these gold foil alt arts. This is going to be really cool. I guess this is kind of going to be like how the Gold Dawn was. Check out that raise you. This is probably going to be kind of like how the Gold Dawn was for the PRB stuff. These, whoops, sorry guys, that was too fast on that one. These will be, you know, really hard cards to get, I'm assuming. I'm not actually sure. If anyone knows, by all means say something. But I would assume these are going to be cards that are kind of hard to come across. You know, you're going to have to get lucky to bust these open in packs, right? Got a Nell, Purple Luffy, Green Blue Rosinante, Bello Betty, Sabo, and okay, that's it. Sneak peek to the end there. So this one looks awesome, by the way. Red, black, and gold. I'm a big fan of that. Whoops. Bello Betty, Rosinante. All of these look really good, guys. They're just improvements on alt arts, in my opinion. Nothing too special, though. This is just cool, you know, how would you say it? Like cosmetics. You know, this is just cosmetic improvements to certain cards. And I bet they're going to look a lot better in person, right? The foiling, the way they look is probably going to look a lot better in person. Okay. Just getting back to where we were supposed to be at so we can keep going with this. Okay, and like I said, EB-01 stuff will be in here as well. EB-01 cards will be in EB-02, but not, excuse me, the leaders will be potentially with these special gold, you know, leader alt arts, not the other cards. That would be nice if the EB-01 cards were in here. That would be nice, but they're not. And there's Kairos. Okay, now, into the set. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I can, guys, because we're going to be wrapping up every color in this, you know, in this one video, so we can just get through it in one video. So I'm going to have it, you know, time-stamped red, green, was it red, green, blue, purple, black, yellow. All right. So I'm not going to rate these. I'll probably only rate the really, you know, the SRs and stuff and secrets and things like that. But here we go. Let's go through this. First up is a 5-cost 7K Karu. It's a 1K counter animal Alabasta type. It's just a generic card, right? Nothing too crazy here to talk about. We will spend some time on this card. Okay, so I kind of already tricked y'all, right? I've already teased you. but we will spend some time on this card. So 4 cost, 5,000 power, 2k counter Sabo. It is a Dressrosa Revo Army type character. The effect is activate main. You may rest this character, and then up to one of your Revo Army type characters other than Sabo gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. The fact that you have to rest this card is, I mean, this is a very limited card they printed, right? Like, you can only target a Revo Army type character. You have to rest this card to give it plus 2,000. It cannot give plus 2,000 to itself. I'm not really head over heels in love with this card. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's a bad card. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying this is a bad card. Excuse me. But it's almost like this was meant for Bello Betty. I almost feel like this was meant for Bello Betty or Dragon or something, and not Red Yellow Sabo, right? Because first of all, Red Yellow Sabo, Goa Kingdom is like an entire idea within that deck, because you want to run like the 5-cost Rush Luffy's and you want to run the 5-cost Rush Ace. Well, you can't even buff those with this. He can't buff himself. If he could buff himself, that'd be one thing, right? Because for 4 Dawn, I could literally play this card down, tap it, and put him to 7,000, and then I can attach a Dawn to my leader, so that's a 5 Dawn investment, just like with the 5-cost cards we're going for, right? 5 costs. I mean, that is the mega play in Red Yellow Sabo, right? The super big mega play is like the 5-cost 7k body. So if this card could have been a 4-cost 7k on itself, but rests itself so it can't attack, just so you could use the leader effect with the 5th Dawn, I think that could have been something special. But as is, it's a little lackluster to me, guys. I'm not going to lie. It is a searchable 2k counter. We take what we can get, guys. When it comes to the Revo Army stuff, I think the card is still fine. If I were to rate this, guys, like I said, I'm going to try to stay away from rating all these cards because it makes the videos run super long. But I would give this card like a 7.5 out of 10 because I wish it was so much better than it was. I wish it was a 5-cost 5k, to be honest. I almost wish it was a 5-cost 5k so I could do some searching and, manipulation with it with, I don't know. I just feel like it'd just be better in that way as a 5-cost 5k and let it target itself. Because then I could at least use it as a 5-cost 5k just like his 2 brothers, right? Or excuse me, I could use it as a 5-cost 7k like his 2 brothers. Because there's a new, spoiler warning, guys. Well, I've already gone over ST21, so if you don't know already, I do apologize, but it is technically a spoiler for us in the West. There's an ST21 Luffy coming out that it's a 5-cost 6k rusher, and when attacking, it can attach a Dawn to itself and make it swing for 7k. So, in Yellow already has the 5-cost 7k Ace, right? The 5-cost 7k Rush Ace on play if you have 2 or less life. Well, this could have been the version of Sabo, where it's actually a 5-cost 5,000 power 2k counter, and then activate main, rest this character, and give up to one of your Revo Army type cards plus 2,000 power for the turn. Not other than Sabo, because it says other than Sabo, so now I can't even buff the card. I just wish it had done... I won't rant and rave about this too much, guys. I just wish they had done a slightly better job with designing this one with other leaders in mind. Some people, and with it being 5,000 power, you can still cheat it out with Ivankov and things like that if you need to. Oh, well, I'm not going to rant about it for too long. I'm just going to say I wish this was a 5-cost card, and I wish it could target itself. But it's still a great 2k counter, searchable for Dressrosa, for Revo Army. Well, Dressrosa too, but searchable for Revo Army, so that's at least a good thing. We'll take it. Okay, don't worry. Most of the reviews will not take that long. Yeah, but most of these other ones. So now we got Tony Chopper, 3 cost, 3,000 power, 1k counter, Animal Drum Kingdom, Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is Dawn times 2, opponent's turn. This character gains plus 2,000 power. Okay, so it's like a 5k on both sides, right? On play, if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your leader or up to one of your characters. So it's almost like a conditional 3 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter, like vanilla card, to be honest. But you have to attach 2 Dawn to it. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I don't think it's bad, by the way. 3 Dawn is a very important spot in the Red-Green Chopper leader, so maybe this is meant to be Red-Green Chopper support specifically, because when you play this out for 3, okay, now you have 3 Dawn that you can use your leader effect to attach to some bodies, and then on top of that, this card can also rest a Dawn, right? Or excuse me, attach a rested Dawn to your leader, or one of your characters. So yeah. Not too bad. It probably has a way to protect itself in that way. After it swings and stuff, I guess, it can... you attach to, well, excuse me, when you swing, it will be able to protect itself, right? Because you'll have 2, if you attach 2 Dawn to it, it is a 5,000 power, on your opponent's turn as well. So, not too bad. Not too bad. Here's the alt art for it. That looks really cool. I like the maroon, burgundy, red, and pinks up here. It looks really nice. Okay, next up is Don Achino. This is just an 8-cost 10k vanilla card. Achino family. Maybe they're going to introduce a new type soon. Not sure, but this is just a vanilla. That's a huge vanilla, though, guys. 8-cost 10k. Not bad. Okay, next up we have Fake Straw Hat Crew. This is a 2-cost, 3,000 power, no counter. The type is Fake Straw Hat Crew as well. And the effect is on your turn. This character gains plus 2,000 power. Okay, so it's a 2-cost 5k when you're attacking with it, right? And then on your opponent's turn, he has minus 2,000. Give this character minus 2,000 power. Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's not really searchable from what I understand. But hey, on your turn, he's 5k attacking for 2. And on your opponent's turn, he's just going to get wiped off the board from a blocker, right? Or from anything. The card's not going to survive. Even a searcher can take it out. So I think it's kind of cool. I think it's nice being like a pretty aggressive card. Maybe this will go good in Zorro or something. I'm not 100% sure. But hey, it's a 2-cost. It's a 2-cost 5k when attacking. So not too bad. You just can't defend it. Next up is Yamato, 6-cost, 7,000 power, land and Wano type, of course. And this is activate main once per turn. Activate main once per turn. If your leader has the land and Wano type or is Port Ghasti Ace, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to one of your leaders. Then this character gains rush during this turn. Okay, so this can, so in the right deck, which, you probably want to run this in red, green, Odin, or like some type of red ace deck. Yeah, this is a 6-cost 7k with rush. That alone is already good. And then you can give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to one of your leaders. So if you play this out with Odin, right? Let's say you're on the even curve and you play this out with Odin. Okay, 6-cost 7k. Now attach a Dawn with the effect to your leader, Odin. Swing for 7. And then swing for 7 with this character as well because they have rush. I'm a big fan of this. I think this is a solid card. Really good stuff here. It's an SR. I'll try to rate this one. I would give this like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's solid. Just being a 6-cost 7k and rushing in certain decks, that's already really good. There's the alt art for it. Looks pretty good. That's a certain style of card, right? Like, or art. Like, it looks really good, by the way, but it's like a certain style. I see that pretty often in this game, I think. Maybe it's more, like a anime style or something. Okay, next up we have an event. This is Cloven Rose Blizzard. Let me check. Okay, yeah, we're doing good on time. So Cloven Rose Blizzard. This is a 3-cost animal water 7 Straw Hat Crew type event. The effect is main up to a total of 3 of your leader and character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. Trigger, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. I'm a very big fan of this card. So remember, I think I was just saying this, right, about the 3-cost chopper they just showed off. So 3-cost is a very important spot in red-green chopper because your leader gives 3 Rested Dawn to your characters, right, accordingly, or to, to the legal targets. But here's the thing. This card is 3 Dawn to give plus 1,000 to your stuff, and then you rested 3 Dawn, now you can use your leader to give plus 3,000 more to your stuff. So I really like that, and it pops a 3k character. So if you can somehow combo this with the 3-cost 4k chopper, the blocker chopper. Wow. Okay, so that's going to be a big turn, guys. Hang on. Hear me out. So imagine if you play out a 3-cost blocker chopper on turn, turn 2 going first. So that was a 3 Dawn play, right? Next turn you have 5 Dawn. If that thing survives, attach 2 Dawn to that chopper, smash in for 7 into whatever, or 6, I guess. Excuse me. Smash in for 6. Give minus 3,000 to a character, and then 3 Dawn, you can buff up and do all these other things. If you had some kind of board, you probably wouldn't have any kind of crazy board, but who knows, right? What if you went turn 1, Kureha? Actually, maybe going second would be even better, guys. Maybe going second would be even better, where it's like turn 1, Kureha, do a search there into, with your 1 Dawn left, use that for the Shut Up and Come With Us event, and then next turn play out the chopper, like I was saying, in another body, and then you can do all kinds of crazy shenanigans from there. Who knows what could happen. But you guys get my point. I do like this card quite a bit. Huge fan of this one. I think Chopper needed that card. Okay, so now we have the first card that we need to talk about for a little bit here called the Peak. This is one of the new Searcher events that are coming out in EB-02. They're going to be in every single color. They're going to say the exact same thing, the same type, the same cost, the same effect, the same trigger. Everything is the same except the color and the name. And I guess technically the actual number of the card. Like this is EB-02-008. They'll have a different number, a different name, and a different color, but that's it. Everything else on the cards will be the exact same wording, trigger, everything. So check it out. It's a 2-cost event. Trigger, activate this card's main effect, and this is the main effect. Look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with a cost of 4 or more, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So for any kind of deck that is running multiple types throughout the deck, this card is absolutely insanely good, right? This is going to be very good in those in those kind of decks, but decks that are more like locked to a type, like if you're just running like a purple Straw Hat Crew deck, these aren't going to be so good for something like that. And like I said, these are going to be in every color, by the way. The exact same wording, everything. And notice this, guys. Look at, so this is the red one. Look at 4 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with a cost of 4 more and add it to your hand. It's not color locked. It's not type locked. It's just cost locked. That's it. So really, really good card. Deck Builder's Dream, right? This is like a deck. These events here are like a deck builder's dream, especially across multiple colors. Okay, Thousand Sunny, we got a 2-cost stage here. This is a Straw Hat Crew stage. Activate main, rest the stage. Give up to 1 of your currently given Dawn cards to 1 of your Straw Hat Crew type characters. So very limited, and it's a 2-cost card. It has to be, the Dawn already has to be attached. I'm not a huge fan of this, but hey, I guess it's better than nothing. It's just another flavor of another, new stage. Okay, next up, Green Purple Luffy. This is the only new leader being shown in EB-02. Right, this is the only new leader. We saw all the gold alternate art alternate art leader cards, but this is the only brand new, actual mechanically new leader card that's going to be in EB-02. So remember, in EB-01, I think it was Sanji, right? So in EB-02, this one's Luffy. This is a green purple leader, 4 life, 5,000 power, Straw Hat Crew type. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -2. So you're going down 2 Dawn. If the only characters on your field are Straw Hat Crew type characters, set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. And I don't think that's not ramping the 2 Dawn back, correct? I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong on that translational interpretation from me, but it doesn't say to set 2 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck as active. No, it's just set 2 of your Dawn cards as active. Then this leader gains plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So I guess you're going to go backwards 2 Dawn to stand 2 more Dawn up as active, and then you're going to go plus 1,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's not like it's a bad leader, but I'm not a huge fan of this effect. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to see what happens. But I do think this card's very strong. Because, again, unless I'm misunderstanding the effect, guys, and be nice to me if I am, say something in the comment section below, but please be respectful. But if I'm understanding this correctly, let's just say you're at 8 Dawn. Let's say you're at 10 Dawn. You're going to go Dawn -2 to do this effect if you have all Straw Hat Crew characters on the board. So you're going to go down to 8 Dawn. But then you're going to stand 2 of the Dawn you already used for the turn as active, right? And then if you try to use a Gum Gum Giant, you're going down to 6 Dawn, right? I don't know, guys. I don't see it. I don't think it's a bad effect, and I know that's just one example. Like maybe you could do other. You don't have to do Dawn minus effects along with this one to get the best play possible. I'm sure there's a lot of other potential plays out there. And and here's the thing: you're also locking me to Straw Hat Crew type characters on the field only. But then this leader, he does get plus 1,000 power until your opponent's next turn. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this card, guys. Maybe it's because green and purple are literally my least favorite colors in the game. But at the same time, I just don't really see it. Again, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it says Dawn -2. So if I'm at 6 Dawn and I do this effect, I'm going down to 4 Dawn. Is that correct, guys? Again, someone help me out if I'm off on that. But it sounds like that to me. Because it says set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. It doesn't say set 2 from your Dawn deck as active, unless I'm misunderstanding. Okay, so there's that one. Here's the alt art for it. Looks pretty cool. It's all red, which is kind of misleading being a green and purple leader. Pretty cool, though. Okay, now we're to the green cards. We got Arlong up first. 3 cost, 4,000 power, 1k counter. Fishman, East Blue, Arlong Pirates. The effect is on play if your leader has the Fishman or East Blue type. Give up to 1 rested Dawn card to 1 of your leaders. Then up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So they're not attacking, they're not blocking, they're not doing any rest, activate main type effects, whatever character you choose. This is really solid. I really do like this card quite a bit. And I think, so it's like a 2 Dawn play, right? Because he's going to give 1 Dawn for free to your leader. So I guess like on your 5 Dawn or 6 Dawn turn, that's where you're going to be able to really pop off. So like going first, maybe you go, turn 1 pass, whatever. And I'm thinking, guys, let me say this too. I'm thinking of green, yellow, Arlong. So if your head is, it's somewhere else, like in Hody Jones' world or some of the new OP11 characters, I think there's a Jinbei coming out and a Shirahoshi coming out. If you're thinking of other leaders, I don't know. And I don't even know their types off the top of my head, but I think they're all Fishman, right? Or East Blue or something, and whatever. Whatever the case is, guys. I'm thinking green, yellow, Arlong. And this card in there seems like it's going to be, welcome to the party, bud. Welcome. You'll be, we're going to be happy to have you here. Because this card's going to be like, okay, turn 1 pass, right? Turn 2, we're going to do our normal play. Going first. All right, turn 1 pass. Turn 2, swing for 7, cheat out Kikinojo or Basil Hawkins or something, whatever. And then the next turn, when they just played out their 4-drop, thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to battle the board a little bit, Hate to break it to you, bud, but this turn's about to get really gross if they attacked in already and we got a trigger potentially, because listen to how this could go. Okay, play out this card Arlong. The guy you just played is not going to be able to rest until the end of your next turn, so you can't even attack with him. And if it's a blocker, you can't even block with him. And then I'm going to attach the Dawn to my leader and attach one more Dawn to my leader, swing in for 7, and cheat out. Imagine if I cheat out the 4-cost 6k Arlong and lock down their leader where they can't attack next turn either, and then you guys know what's going on from there, guys. It's just a disaster. So big fan of this card. Cannot wait to mess with this. And then on, going second, it's not much worse, right? You just get to swing for 6 with your whatever card you played before, or swing 7 if it was like a Kikanojo, then 7 with leader and everything I just said. Just really, really crazy. Speaking of really, really crazy, look at that altar, guys. This looks awesome. I really love this altar. I really like this. Okay, next up is Gammon. This is a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter blocker. Or no, hang on. He's East Blue type. It says if you have a Sarfunkel, this character gains blocker. Guys, that card is not even like popping into my head. What is Sarfunkel? Like, is that a card? Is that a card already in the game, or maybe it's going to be revealed later in the spoilers here in the EB-02 stuff? That card, like, I can't think of it off the top of my head. If I can remember later, guys, we will search this card up. But let's keep going. Overall, though, this is a 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter card. That it's not even a blocker, right? It's only a blocker in situational, it's only a situational blocker, right? A conditional blocker. Not a huge fan of this one. All right, next up is Carrot. This is a 1-cost, 0 power, 2k counter. Really cool looking art on this one. I like that. It is a Minx type. On play, if you have 3 or more Dawn cards on your field, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Zal and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 Zal from your hand. Okay, so on turn 3, if you don't have the Zal, you're going to get to dig 7 deeper to try to find it and cheat it out with this effect and still have 2 Dawn for the turn. I like that it's a 2k counter. I like that it's a nice little 1-cost filler play if you need to, because you can always just use this with your leader effect. Or how do I say this? This will turn on the leader effect of a card like Carrot, right? Because you have to have 1 Minx character on the board, I believe, to rest down a 5 or less. So that's perfect for what it's trying to do. I don't like that you have to have 3 or more Dawn, though. Like, guys, tell me this. Would Carrot just become broken all of a sudden if this was a 1-cost that could cheat out the stage for 3? I just don't see it, guys. I mean, when we have plays later in the game that look like Gecko Moria into 4-cost, into 3-cost, into 4-cost, into 2-cost, and so on, I don't feel like this would be broken, but who knows? I mean, you never know what could break what could just completely break a leader, break a deck. But I'm just going to say this. I wish it could. I think it almost needed that to kind of be able to cheat out right on turn 1 as opposed to having 3 Dawn. Oh, well, whatever the case is, still a very powerful card, and I do like this quite a bit. Okay, here's Sarfunkel. We found Sarfunkel, guys. Hang on. Okay, so this was the Gammon, and it says if you have a Sarfunkel, this character gains blocker. So here's Sarfunkel. This is a 2-cost, 0 power, 1k counter, East Blue. The effect is on play up to 1 Gammon from your hand. Okay, I guess that's like a cute little trick there where you have a 2-cost that cheats out a, what was it, a 1-cost? Yeah, and it's a blocker. I'm not even going to comment on this, guys. I don't know what to say. Unless there's some kind of special board flood mechanic we're trying to go for here. Is this like the new red-green law tech card or something? I don't know what to say, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this one. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I have to be missing something. Okay, here we go. We got an SR here. We got a 7-cost, 7,000 power Jewelry Bonnie, 1k counter, Supernova Bonnie Pirates type. The effect is on play. Up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Let's go. Green lockdown. You love to see that. Then set up to 1 of your Dawn cards is active at the end of this turn. Oh, man. I wish it was set as active immediately. I do wish it was set as active immediately, guys. Because I was going into the mindset of, ooh, another green-yellow law 7-cost. Because we already have the 7-cost 9k law, right? This would have been a really nice, like, 2-of in the deck. But it sets the Dawn as active at the end of your turn. It's like, no, why would you do that? But that's okay. It's still a very good card. 7-cost 7k with a 1k counter. It can lock down a card for the turn. Sets up to 1 Dawn is active at the end of your turn for the Jewelry Bonnie leader effect. I think this is just a solid overall card, but I really think this is only like a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's that crazy. The lockdown effect is definitely the best part about it. The art's pretty crazy too. I like that art. Okay, next card. Okay, speaking of the art, okay, this is the alt art for it. Man, this is a crazy picture. Her head's like upside down or backwards, or no, it's like upside down, I guess. And she's like chewing food, 0 manners, no, just looking all crazy. Very cool card. Love the pink hair. The pink in this one, Like, okay, in the first one, the pink's a bit muted, but it still looks really good. But in this one, it's like this vibrant pink at the front where the shadows haven't hit yet. Yeah, like, or where there's no shadows on it. Really nice looking card. Okay, we got Chopper Man here. We got a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter Chopper Man, Animal Straw Hat Crew. And this is, the effect says, also treat this card's name as Tony Chopper, according to the rules. Okay, good. I was going to say, come on now. When they do these different names, it could mess things up potentially, right? But who knows? On play up to 1 animal type character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So even that 3 cost, okay, so now I don't want to like go backwards super far, but remember the 3 cost red Chopper we saw? Okay, well this can cheat that one out, or the 3 cost 5K Searcher Chopper, the 3 cost 4K Blocker Chopper. Okay, they're really giving red-green Chopper some love here, guys. Who knows? Maybe it will be worth running over Zoro soon. You never know, because that was the big problem, right? It's like, why would I run red-green Chopper when I lose a life and I could just run Zoro, right? Because, you know, Zoro has 5 life, and if I attach 1 Dawn, I could potentially give plus 6,000 power to the board, right? 1 to the leader and 5,000 to the board. Whereas red-green Chopper, he starts at 4 life, and I can only give up to 3 Dawn ever. I can only ever potentially give up to 3 Dawn. So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, one thing I think Bandai did, I'm going to save it for another video. I'm not going to go on a long rant, but bear with me. One thing Bandai did, in my personal opinion, is they grossly underestimated how powerful 5 life was. Like, how important it was for the balance of the game and for having decks become, you know, meta and be able to have sustain and things like that. But that's a story for another day. Good card, though. I think this is really cool. The art is absolutely incredible. He's like flying out there, you know, he's just going crazy. Looks awesome. Okay, next up we have Nami. This doesn't look like Nami to me. You know, it's a really cool design of her, but this doesn't really strike me as Nami, like the way the art looks. But still looks really cool. It's a very good piece of art, just not exactly precise enough for me to make me think of the character, other than just, you know, the tattoo and the hair. But 1 cost, 2,000 power, 1K counter, East Blue Straw Hat type. The effect is on play. Okay, we got a searcher here, guys. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Interesting, guys. A green Straw Hat Searcher. Maybe we can play this in Green Blue Zanji. I don't know. I know you can't bounce it back with the leader effect, but just the fact that we have like a turn 1 searcher potentially, maybe this will open up more avenues for like the green blue film Straw Hat Crew thing I had going on a long time ago with Green Blue Zanji. We'll have to see. We might have to revisit that soon. Big fan of the searcher here. That's good. It's good to have those. Okay. All right. See, now this looks like Nami to me. I don't know what, like, I mean, what is the big difference? The eyes? Yeah, maybe the eyes are just a little too narrow here, and the mouth is just a little too narrow as well, where it's like the body works, and the hair, and the color even, but not the expression, not the mannerism, right? Not the expression, or however you say that. Okay, next up we got Buggy. Okay, I do know what this card does. I am really looking forward to this card, guys. 4 cost, 6,000 power Buggy, East Blue, Buggy Pirates type, green color still. We're still on the green cards. The effect is on play. If you have no other Buggy character, up to 1 of your leaders gains double attack during this turn. The trigger is rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. We'll take it. That trigger could have been anything, and I wouldn't have cared. The trigger could have said, you know, discard a card, and I still would have probably played it, guys, and just not ever use the trigger. The fact that it has a trigger means we can play this in Arlong. Green, yellow, Arlong. That's right, guys. It's a 4 cost 6K. We can cheat out because it has a trigger, and it's actually a very good trigger, by the way. And then the on play gives us double attack. Yeah, we're going to take this one every single time, guys. And with that new green Arlong, we saw the 3 cost, locking down a blocker potentially, and then using this and maybe giving it banished with the 2 cost Onami. I'm just saying, it's kind of cool. There might be some potential there. It might be kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. Cannot wait to mess with this. Okay, next up we have Zoro. This is a 4 cost 5K, 1K counter Zoro. It's East Blue, Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is if your opponent has 2 or more characters, this character can attack characters on the turn in which it was played. So it kind of has rush into characters if your opponent has 2 or more characters. The on play is if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Very nice. So it's a 4 cost 5K, 1K counter. It's coming into play, and if your leader's Straw Hat Crew, you're resting down a 4 or less, and if your opponent has 2 or more characters, boom, you're going straight in, attacking in. Big fan of this card. Really nice tech card. I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit, guys, because I'm taking a little too long. Okay, so here's We Are. This is the green version of the Event Searcher. This can look at the top 4 cards and grab whatever card you want that costs 4 or more. Really good stuff here. Now we have Gum Gum Giant Pistol. This is a 3 cost event, Water 7 Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is main. Up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gains plus 6,000 power during this turn. Then the selected character will not become active in your next refresh phase. Up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gains plus 6,000 power during this turn. Then the selected character will not become active in your next refresh phase. Okay, so you're using this, and now your character's like out of gas, right? So they're not restanding in your next refresh phase. Okay, that's kind of cool for 3, I guess. But you're losing a character pretty much after that, an entire turn. They might be able to take it out. Trigger, you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less. So yeah, I think this card's fine. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I get the idea. It's pretty cool. Like you're attacking really, really hard. You're paying 3 and getting 6,000 out of it. So that because of that, your character has to like recharge on the next turn. Okay, on to the blue cards, guys. Here we go. So Usopp here is a 4-cost 5k, 1k counter East Blue Straw Hat Crew type card. The effect is on play if you have 2 or less characters with 5,000 power or more. Play up to 1 character card with 6,000 power or less, and no base effect from your hand. No base effect, guys. Are they trying to make green blue Sanji? Not Zanji, green blue Sanji work. Kind of cool idea there, cheating out bodies. Cheating out bodies is never a bad thing, but I don't know, man. With it being in blue, did it really need that? I'm not sure if it needed that. We already have like the whole 7 warlords thing to cheat out bodies, and most of those cards aren't even like locked in any way. Like I guess Boa can only give the Dawn to a 7 warlords character or leader, and but the Trafalgar Law, the effect doesn't really work without a 7 warlords leader, but still a cool card, cool idea. Awesome altar. Look at this altar, guys. That borderless altar goes crazy. That looks really good. Okay, Crocodile. Okay, speaking of 7 warlords, here we go. So we got a 4-cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter, 7 warlords and Baroque Works type character here. The effect is your turn once per turn when your opponent's character is returned to the owner's hand by your effect. Oh dear. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them at the bottom at the top or bottom of the deck in any order. So in other words, if you have this card down and you play out a Trafalgar Law, bounce back your, Searcher or something, whatever you bounce back. You just bounce back the Law. You can always just bounce back your own Trafalgar Law and then bounce their character back. Now we can set our top 3 cards. Now we can attack with our leader. That seems pretty good, guys. This might be at least like a 2 or 3 of in Blue Doffy going forward. Like, maybe a 4 of. I don't know if it's that important. But yeah, this card seems pretty good. It's a perfect 4-cost 5k with a 1k counter with a very, very relevant effect. Seems good. Okay, moving on. Next up is Soga King, a 4-cost 5k, 1k counter, Sniper Island type character. The effect is also treat this card's name as Usopp according to the rules, okay? On play, draw 2 and replace 2 cards from your hand at the bottom of your deck in any order. So draw 2 and put 2 on the bottom in any order. Then return up to 1 character with a cost of 1 or less to the owner's hand. So this is probably meant to be a way to fix your hand as Nami. If I had to guess, this is kind of like Nami support. Pretty cool. Okay, we got Rosinante here. 2 costs, 3,000 power, 1k counter, Navy, Don Quixote Pirate. It's a blue card, though. It's activate main. You may rest one of your Dawn cards and this character if your leader is Don Quixote Rosinante. Okay, hang on. I read that really weird. Activate main. You may rest one of your Dawn cards and this character. So you're going to pay 1, rest the card. And then if your leader is Rosinante, Don Quixote Rosinante, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 character card with a cost of 2 or less. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, it's not looking for a type. You just have to have, only your leader has to be the type, right? So look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 character card with a cost of 2 or less rested. And then put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you can it is rested, but you could play out a Sugar, you could play out a Rosinante, the 2-cost, you can play out the 2-cost Duval. There's a lot of options there, guys. That's kind of cool. That's actually pretty cool. But this is only available in a leader who's, with the name Rosinante. So right now I think only green blue can run this. Very solid, though. All right, next up we have Nefeltari Vivi. This is a 3-cost, 2,000 power, 1k counter character, Alabasta type. Oh, okay, I do remember this card. On play, if your leader is multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. This is a card that I cannot wait to play in green blue Zanji. This will be in a upcoming green blue Zanji build as soon as it's on the sim and as soon as I can get my hands on this and do some testing, because I think this card is going to be absolutely insane. Who even cares what you're running at that point? Just counter out of everything they do aggressively. Fill the board as aggressively as you can, and just even if they're vanillas and cards that cheat out vanillas, just to get a wide board, and then you can play this down to draw 2. Pull the card back with leader effect and stand cards up. Seems so good. Okay, and the alt art looks absolutely incredible. The alt art looking really, really solid. Okay, Vista, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter, Whitebeard Pirates type. The effect is on play. Place up to one of your opponent's characters with 1,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. What is that, guys? What? Place up to one of your opponent's characters with 1,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Like, maybe this is Marco support? I guess, like, with Marco on a 5-dawn turn, you can bottom deck a 3,000 power card? Guys, come on now. This is... I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'm not a huge fan of this. I wish this was a little bit stronger. Like, at least make it a 3,000 power or less character, and then it could be a 5,000 with a leader effect. Right? I don't know. You guys tell me what y'all think about that one. I feel like that was such a waste of potential. I'm sorry. Okay, so Port Gosti Ace. We got a 5 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter ace here. Alabasta, Whitebeard Pirates type. The effect is on play if your leader type includes Whitebeard Pirates. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 character with a cost of 2, specifically, not 2 or less, 2, and of 2, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 character card with the cost of 2 from your hand rested. So I think this is specifically for blue yellow ace, guys, and I don't disagree that it needs it, but man, that is a very specifically done card. Are there other combos you're trying to do with this? Maybe like Viola, maybe Hiyori, maybe something along those lines. I'm not sure. Maybe a Duval. But yeah, otherwise though, I think this card's still pretty good. It's blue yellow. I think it's blue yellow ace support, and we'll take it. Next up, we have Grandpa Ryu here, or Ryu. However you say that. It's a 1k counter vanilla animal East Blue type character. Really cool picture though. I like how it's like flying up there. Very cool. Okay, we got an event here, and that's when somebody makes fun of their friend's dream. And that's when somebody makes fun of their friend's dream. This is a 2 cost Alabasta Straw Hat Crew type of event. The effect is counter if any of your counter if any of your characters would be KO'd in battle during this turn. You may trash 1 card from your hand instead. The trigger, draw a card. So if any of your characters would be KO'd in battle during this turn, you may trash a card from your hand instead. Okay. Very interesting. The trigger draws a card. Guys, if this is accurate... Okay, so I saw people playing this over in the East. I saw someone messing around with this. And is this effect just continuous? Like, in other words, it's not just one time. So in other words, here's what I need to know. I'll look at the ruling on it later. If someone knows the rules off the top of their head, tell me. But the way it's worded... It says if any of your characters would be KO'd in battle during this turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. If that can only happen one time, then it's kind of just whatever. It's kind of decent, I guess. It's not good, though. But if it can keep happening, like if this effect just stays on the board and I can keep trashing cards from my hand to save characters from battle, that's crazy, guys. This card could be potentially insane. And like I said, I saw them using in the East where they could. Like they had a Eustace Kid down, and every time something attacked into it, trash a card, trash a card, trash a card, trash a card. It was wild. Really good stuff. Very cool card. I would like to see this in action, and I have to look up the rulings before I know fully what it does. Okay, next up we have a card called Hope. Okay, here's the blue version of the 2 cost Searcher event from EB-02. Very cool looking. I like the Sanji picture there. Okay, moving over to purple, guys. We're making good time. Here we go. So we got Iceberg here. This is a 1 cost, 0 power, 2k counter, Water 7 Galila type, Galila Company type card. The effect is on play if you have 3 or more Dawn cards on your field. Okay, here we go. Look at 7 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Galila Company and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order and play up to 1 Galila Company from your hand. So this is literally like the Minx card we just saw with Carrot, right? They're both 1 cost, 0 power, 2k counters with on play that search up the stage if you have 3 Dawn or more, and it lets you just play them. It just lets you just play the card from those top 7. Very nice. Excuse me. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Very solid. Next we have Klabauterman. I don't know how to say this. 1 cost, 0 power, 1k counter, Sprite. If you have Mary Go on your field, this character gains blocker. So I'm assuming this is going to be something like the Gammon card we saw with Sarfunkel. So hopefully there's a Mary Go that we're going to run across in these cards. Next up is Komai. This is a 4 cost, 6k, 1k counter vanilla. Navy and Foxy Pirates type. Very interesting combo there. Sanji and Pudding. Look at this card, guys. This looks awesome. I love the art on this card. I absolutely love the art on this card, guys. 5 cost, 7k. This is a Big Mom Pirates Straw Hat type card. Oh, man. This is a combo. It's a Strike Wisdom combo. That's like a pretty interesting... I don't think we've ever seen that combo before. Maybe we have. I'm not sure. But it's a 5 cost, 7k purple, Big Mom Pirates type, and Straw Hat Crew type. No counter. The effect is on your turn once per turn. When 2 or more Dawn cards on your field are returned to your Dawn deck, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Okay, so that's helping with the green-purple Luffy, right? That is helping with the green-purple Luffy leader. So I like that. So now that's making the leader look a little more attractive. And then on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, draw a card. So that your turn once per turn, that is continuous, guys. That can just keep happening, right? So we love to see that. We'd love to see that. And then the on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, draw a card. That's on play. Big fan of this card. Guys, if I were to rate this would be like a 7.5 out of 10. I'm a big fan of this. I know like it could be a little bit higher than that, like if it's out of 10, but I think this is just a solid card. Not having a counter, though, you know, I understand why it doesn't have a counter. It's a 5 cost 7K. I'm just saying not having a counter, it does hurt my rating system because I'm always trying to judge how good the card is in every situation. Where it's like, okay, on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field, draw a card. So it's like, okay, so we had to lose Dawn at some point in order to hit that effect, or my opponent had to ramp Dawn. So that seems situational, but the other effect seems very solid too, though. So, you know, very, very good card, though. Okay, next up. Oh, okay, here's the... Bro, check out... I don't know what it is. There's something about this character combo right here of Sanji and Pudding. I'm really liking this, and I'm not someone who watches the anime. For those who don't follow the channel or you're just watching me for the first time, I don't really follow the anime. I fell in love with the game because the game was so good. But these two characters here, I really like them together. I don't know what it is. You guys, don't be mean to me in the comment section below because I don't know if one of them's like a really, you know... I have no idea. Just really good art here, and I love the way they the whole composition is just incredible. The composition here is incredible. Like the blushing, like the redness of the face on Pudding. She's been swept off her feet by the gentleman who is Sanji, right? This is just incredible. It's got the stars and the hearts and everything everywhere. So good. So good. Okay, next up we have Nico Robin. 3 costs, 2,000 power, 1K counter, Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is it's blocker. Okay, we love seeing that. We have a blocker card here. On KO, Dawn -1. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So you get to do a top 3 search on KO by just going Dawn -1. This card, excellent. Huge fan. Absolutely love this. You know, and there's no limitation. Like, it can look up any Straw Hat card, and there's no color lock either, right? Reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card and add to your hand. Big fan of this card. Excellent. And it has an alt art, guys. That's crazy. Like a ton of cards, and you have alt arts that are not even SRs. So really good stuff here. Great looking alt art. Looks really good. Okay, next up we have Frankie, a 3 cost 4K, 1K counter, Water 7, Straw Hat Crew type card. The effect is on play and when attacking. Okay, 3 cost 4K Straw Hat Crew card with a 1K counter. This is giving me Brook vibes right away, but this is not an SR. Let's see what this does, though. If your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type and the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay, so now the green-purple leader is making a lot more sense, because before I was going to say, I guess... You know, before it was like, okay, we have to play out the 3 cost 4K Zoro on curve, and a good player might try to play around that where we don't get to ramp with it, right? Because purple needs to have some form of ramp to do the Dawn minus stuff to really get the advantage it needs. But seeing this, let me see something. If your leader strike crew type and the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. So now after seeing Frankie... And after seeing the Sanji and Pudding, really, really big fan of what's going on here, guys. Like, so now the green-purple leader is starting to become a little more attractive to me. Okay, next up we have Magellan. This is another 3 cost 4K, 1K counter here. Impel down, on play. Play up to 1 Impel down type character card with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. Okay? 1 Impel down type character card with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. I don't know all the options off the top of my head, but I'm already not like head over heels with this. That's a very small card to play out. But who knows? It might have... I can't think off the top of my head. I can't remember if Sadie's a 2 cost or a 3 cost. So maybe there's like a 3 cost combo you can do there. I'm not sure with the Jailer Beast and stuff. But overall, I think this is still a pretty cool card. But I need to see what all the combos are. I don't know them off the top of my head. Germa 66. Okay, we got a 4 cost card here. Okay, we got a 4 cost event here, rather. The Vinsmoke family and Germa 66. The effect is main. You may trash 1 Germa 66 type character card with 4,000 power or less from your hand. So the little 2 cost cards, right? And if the 2, 3, and 4 cost cards, I should say. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, play up to 1 character card with 5,000 to 7,000 power in the same card name as the trash card from your hand. Okay. Okay, so this is a way to just do a... Well, that's weird. Why? So how is this beneficial? How is this beneficial, guys? Because hear me out. So main, okay, so imagine if you have the 4-cost Ikiji, right? Okay, well, I'm just going to play him out for 4, and then I'm going to Dawn -1 to draw a card, and then play out the 7 cost. Because you have to have both, right? You can't just not have one or the other. Hang on. All right, let me read this one more time. You may trash one Germa 66 type character card with 4,000 power or less from your hand. If the number of Dawn cards in your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, play up to one character card with 5,000 to 7,000 power and the same name as the trash card from your trash. Someone help me out, guys. I don't get it. Someone say in the comment section below, why would I ever want to do this? Like, for Reiju, we can do it for 2 cost, right? Like, if I already have the card in my trash and the card in my hand, and the card in my hand I'm about to, use this with, I just don't get it. I must be missing something, guys. Again, someone help me in the comment section below. I don't get why I wouldn't just play out the 4-cost 4K guy and just cheat the card out myself and then draw a card in the process going down in Dawn. Is the only reason to play this card to not lose Dawn? Is that the only reason to play or to use this card? Because you can only even use this card if you have equal to or less Dawn than your opponent. Very odd. Very strange. Okay, next up we have a brand new world. So guys, this one is this is the purple version of the events we've been looking at. I can't even talk right now, guys. I'm rushing too quickly here. This is the purple 2-cost searcher event for a top 4 that looks for a 4-cost or higher character. Okay, very good stuff. And then we have, oh, Marigo. Here's that Marigo card we were looking for earlier. So this is a 1-cost Straw Hat Crew type of stage for purple. We're still in purple. On play, if your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, draw 1 card. Okay, that's already really good. And then, so it's immediately replacing itself. Now let's see what the effect is. Activate main, you may rest the stage. If the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, up to one of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gains +2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay. So maybe this is a way to activate something. Like, or I guess maybe trying to save something. Because at first I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a way to, like, activate the black Sanji card. But you would already, okay, that's odd. I don't know. Like, I was thinking of, like, the 5-cost black Sanji from the starter deck for, I think it's ST14 or something like that. Maybe this card will be good for I don't even know, guys. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm just going to say this. I think the card's okay. The effect is good by itself. And I guess you can activate main just to protect your card a little bit if you have equal to or less Dawn than your opponent. Right? If the number of Dawn on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field. Yeah, so, okay, so maybe if you have like a 4-cost blocker on the board, you can +2 him, and now it's going to be way harder to get rid of him. I don't know. That's all I can think of for that one, guys. Not a huge fan. Okay, we're on to the black cards, guys. We got black and yellow, and then we're almost done, okay? And then we got the game on the sim. Don't forget about that. So we got this guy's name is All Hunt Grount, and he is a 6-cost, 8,000 power, 1K counter, Navy vanilla card. Seems good. Jonathan, hang on. Okay, now I have to go back. So what was the card that was searching for Marigo? I'm sorry, guys. Like, this card. Klabauterman. If you have a Marigo on your field, this character gains blocker. Okay, I'm not really feeling that, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. The whole Klabauterman and the stage, the Marigo stage. I mean, the stage is probably fine. The stage will give you a little bit of insurance because you do get to cycle through cards. But and maybe potentially protect your characters from resting effects and KO effects or bottom deck or whatever. But that Klabauterman, I'm not a huge fan of. But I guess at the same time, it's going to be a consistent blocker because most people don't run stage removal. So maybe that is kind of decent. Okay, now on to the black cards. All Hunt Ground, 6-cost 8K vanilla card, seems good. 7-cost 9K Jonathan here, 1K counter Navy vanilla card. Okay, keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, Sengoku, here we go. 7 costs, 7,000 power, 1K counter, Navy blocker. On play, play up to 1 black Navy type character card with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. I like that. I do like that. I don't think the effect is broken or anything because the card comes into play rested, but he's a 7-cost 7K blocker with Navy searchable. This card is huge, right? This card is absolutely massive. It's a 7-cost 7K and blocker, and it has 1K counter, and on play it does like replace, it does kind of like ramp the board. Sorry if you guys heard my stomach grumbling there, guys. Getting a little bit hungry. But it also floods the board in a way, and then you can protect it with the Sengoku potentially. So big fan of this card. I really like this one quite a bit. Okay, here's the alt art for it. Man, look at those. Look at the line work on this card, guys. Look at the line work. Very interesting. Really cool stuff. Okay, Trafalgar Law. 2 bangers right in a row, guys. 2 SRs right in a row. We got a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter, Dressrosa, Supernova, Heart Pirates type. The effect is blocker. Another good blocker in black here, guys. On play, you may place 2 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. Okay, that's very easy to do. Like, that's not very restrictive. And then you can choose to draw a card, or if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes a card from their hand. Really, really big fan of this card, guys. 5-cost 6K, 1K counter blocker. You know, say less, right? I mean, like it's already good right there. And then if you just have 2 cards in your trash, you can put those on the bottom of your deck and draw a card, or make your opponent lose a card. Thumbs up, excellent card. Love this one. I actually really like the Sengoku and the Trafalgar Law. Okay, there's the Trafalgar Law alt art, of course. Yeah, the SRs usually have alt arts. Really cool looking. Looks like he's in disguise. Look at him. He's got like a little mustache on. And look at the mustache. Those are awesome. Okay, Hilden is a 3-cost, 3,000 power, 2K counter for Thriller Bark Pirates. The effect is on play, trash 2 cards from the top of your deck and give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. Guys, what on earth? Why does this card say what it does? I don't understand why it's so bad. Like, I don't understand why this card could not be 3 cost, 3,000 power, 2K counter, trash 3. Make me trash 3 cards from the top of my deck and at least give me a 3 cost, or even just trash 1 card. Maybe they're saying trashing the cards is what makes it so good. But, like, give me some kind of reason to run this in Thriller Bark and, like, be able to combo it with my other pieces. It's not a 2-cost card, so I can't cheat out with the stage. It only trashes 2 cards, which is better than nothing. But -1 cost? What are you trying to hit, a Searcher? I mean, -1 cost, you're barely hitting a Searcher, guys. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm in, like, a 2-cost Searcher. That riles me up there. I'm not going to lie, guys. I know it's a 2K counter. I know it has utility. But, like, I was already frustrated enough when they released Captain John or whatever his name was, the 1 cost that does -1 or something. I think it is -1 or -2. That already riled me up when I first saw that. But they're not giving Gecko Moria the proper support for cost reduction. So it's like, okay, I guess you just have to run Ice Age. It's like, yeah, but not everyone wants to run like a Navy version. All right, I'm just ranting and raving. Y'all bear with me, guys. Okay, anyway, still a decent card. It's a 3 cost, 3,000 powers. Another 2K counter we can search up. It does have cost reduction. It does fill up our trash. It's not a bad card. Understand that, guys. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it's a bad card. But can you please, for the love of everything good in this world, give us a little more better cost reduction within Gecko Moria? That's all I'm asking. Okay. Because they have the Absalom tricks, man. They could have something special. All right, anyway. All right, so now we got Bluno, 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1K counter, CP9 type. The effect is activate main. You may trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. Play up to 1 character card with a type including CP and a cost of 5 or less other than Bluno from your trash. Okay, 5 cost, 6K, 1K counter, CP9. You may trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. So maybe you play the card out, wait till next turn, swing for 7, and then use the activate main to play up to 1 character card with a type including CP and a cost of 5 or less other than Bluno from your trash. And it's not rested, right? Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't have any like serious problem with that, but it's a little interesting. What's the combo we're going for? Like, bring out, because it cannot be Bluno, so we can't bring out the 5 cost 6K blocker Bluno. So maybe we're trying to bring out like the 4 cost 6K, what's his name? The 4 cost 6K Lucci. Maybe maybe some other 5 cost. I'm trying to think of the 5 cost 6K CP cards. Maybe Kaku. We can bring out Kaku. So there's some options there, I guess, and then combo that with like a the leader attack, and then cost reduction from like a Tempest Kick, something like that. So yeah, that could be kind of cool. I don't think this card's bad. Not a bad card. Okay, next up we have Brook. This is a 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1K counter, Straw Hat Crew type card. The effect is on play, add up to 1 Laboon from your trash to your hand. Okay. On KO, play up to 1 Laboon with a cost of 4 less from your hand. Okay. That's pretty good. We got a 5 cost 6K here with a 1K counter. It grabs a card back from your trash because if you need to, you don't, say it doesn't make it to the on KO. Maybe they don't want to KO the card. Well, we can always just counter out with the Laboon that we just got from hand, right? If it has a counter on it. Big fan of this card, and it's just a character named Laboon with a cost of 4 or less. So any options in the future, if there's like a 2K counter Laboon in the future that has cost 4 or less, this card will have a lot of potential. I do like this card quite a bit. Very cool. Wow, look at that alt art, guys. That alt art is awesome. This alt art is so good, guys. Really, really cool. Big fan. Okay, then we got Monkey D. Garp, 5 cost, 6,000 power, Navy type character. It is no counter. It has no counter power. The effect is on play, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards to your leader. Okay, to one of your leader. Then, activate main, Oh, so not then, excuse me, then it has activate main, rest this character, and if your leader's Monkey D. Garp, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. So now, okay, we have a new 5-cost 6K Garp, right? Because there is a 5-cost 6K Garp that is an SR all the way back in ST06, right? This Garp right here is the new and improved version. Now, I will say that one can pop a 4 or less, but this one on play gives 2 Rested Dawn to your leader. Well, this is clearly meant for Garp, right? This is meant for the red-black leader Garp, because notice the next effect there. Activate main, you may rest this character, and if your leader is Monkey D. Garp, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less. So you can only use this if your leader's Garp. So, okay, this comes into play in -2 immediately, so you're popping a 3 or less right away, and this one doesn't require you to trash a card. It just requires your leader to be Garp. Really big fan of this, and also it gives your leader 2 Rested Dawn, right? So it gives it 2 Rested Dawn on play. So now you're swinging in for 7. You're popping a 3 or less, just easily. Really good stuff. Big fan of this card. Okay, and here's the black version, Kokoro no Chizu. This is the black version of the 2-cost event searcher that looks up 4-cost or more cards. Okay, then we have 3-Pace Hum Soul Notch Slash. 3-Pace Hum Soul Notch Slash. Okay. This is a 3-cost black former Rumbar Pirates type event. It has the effect of choose one. Main. Effect is main, choose one. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less, or give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. Okay, so you can 3-cost -4, or you can 3-cost pop a 2 or less. Okay, just a decent utility card. I don't think it's anything special, though. Okay, we're on the last color, guys. We're on yellow. Here we go. We got Enel. We're starting off really, really good with this one. So this is a card a lot of people are talking about. It is a 10-cost, 11,000 power character from Sky Island, and if your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gains Rush. So it's a 10-cost 11k Rush. But wait, there's more. It gets better. When attacking, you may trash 1 card from your hand, and if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then this character gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Wow. Wow, that's pretty good, huh? I will say this. Your leader doesn't have to be Sky Island for that when attacking part. The only thing that you need for Sky Island is the Rush. He will not have Rush if he's not Sky Island, if your leader's not Sky Island. But the when attacking effect, look what it says, guys. Just trash a card from your hand, and if you have 1 or less life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, and then this character gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. So then, you know, in the right deck, this is a 10-cost 12k attacker just right away, and it gains life as soon as you attack with it in like a Sky Island deck. You know, like, I mean, you can attack right away with it because it has Rush. So, like, it's definitely meant for the Sky Island deck types, but I will say this, I'm so glad they left the when attacking effect open for other decks that might want to experiment with a super powerful effect like this, even if you lose Rush. Really cool stuff here. Okay, and then we have the Altar. This looks really cool. I like the pinks and teals. That looks really, really good. Okay, now we have Miskina Olga. It's a 3-cost 4k 1k counter from the type is Alchemy. I don't know if I've ever heard of Alchemy type, at least in this game. So, but the effect is on play and on KO. Okay, so on play and when it gets KO'd, look at up to 1 card from the top of you or your opponent's life cards and place it at the top or bottom of the life cards. I really like that. I know this is not like a game-breaking effect, but man, that is a very versatile effect where it's like, okay, I come into play here, I do a Katakuri effect to mirror my opponent, and then I have a 3-cost 4k I can attack in with, and if you get rid of it, okay, I get to do the search again, right? I get to look at the other player now. Really good stuff. Okay, next up is Sanji. 5-cost, 6,000 power, 1k counter, East Blue, Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is Blocker, already good. 5-cost, 6k, 1k counter blocker, guys. I can't get enough of that. And then it has an on play. If you have 2 or less life cards, draw 2, trash 1 from your hand. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, gotta say, that's nice. That is really, really nice. I'm a big fan of this card. I would rate this card very highly, like 8.5 out of 10. This is something that will make me want to play some more Red Yellow Sabo and do some more tinkering and make like a really heavy-handed version of the list that like draws a lot. 5-cost 6k blocker with a 1k counter too, guys. That's wild. Like, imagine going Flampe in that deck to go down faster in life and then draw 2 trash, draw 2 trash 1 with this. Yeah, there might be something there. Okay, and now we have another alt-art here. This looks really, really cool. Again, notice the line work. He's going so fast. The lines, they're not even horizontal anymore. They're actually like diagonal. It's just looking crazy. It's going with the force. Very cool. Okay, we got Jinbei here. 4 cost, 5,000 power, 2k counter. This is a Fishman Straw Hat Crew type card with no effect, but it does have a trigger. The trigger is if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type and you have 2 or less life cards, play this card. So in a yellow Fishman type deck or Merfolk type deck, this is a 4 cost, 5k, 2k counter that can trigger right into play if you have 2 or less life cards. Really good. Really solid 2k counter. Okay, next up we have Vegapunk here. This is I have seen this before, and now we're seeing the real translation, so it's good to see this. It's a 5 cost, 0 power, 1k counter, Scientist Egghead type. The effect is blocker. Trigger draws a card. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 Scientist type character card with a cost of 5 or less other than Vegapunk. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and if your opponent has 2 or less characters, trash 1 card from your hand. So that was the interesting part about this card, guys. In the original version that I saw, the original translation, I don't remember where it was from, but it did not specify that it cannot be Vegapunk. So I was like, wait a minute, can you just go Vegapunk into Vegapunk into Vegapunk? But in this version, that's why it's always good to wait for like the legitimate, the accurate translations. You clearly cannot search up itself. Okay, so it can't just keep going Vega into Vega into Vega into Vega. Then it says, then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in the order, and if your opponent has 2 or less characters, trash 1 card from your hand. Trigger, draw a card. Solid card, 5 cost blocker with a 1k counter, but this is a 0 power card, not 6,000. But it does do a top 5 search, and it plays a Scientist card other than Vegapunk that costs 5 or less. So that is very strong, right? You're going to do a top 5 search for a Scientist card that costs 5 or less and play it. Very, very good stuff there. Okay, there's the alt art. This looks wild, guys. Look at the shadows on here with the eyebrows. This looks so good. Really, really cool art style here. Okay, next up is Mad Treasure, a 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1k counter, Treasure Pirates type. The effect is when attacking, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand, and then add up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm really not a huge fan of me losing life and giving my opponent life. But I guess it has some type of tricks you could do. Like imagine in a black-yellow deck, you can swing for 5 with this, and well, first Ice Age their character and bounce an 8 or less to the bottom of their deck. I guess. I mean, it has some kind of merit there. I guess it has some type of potential, but I'm just not a big fan of this card. Okay, now we have this card called Us, but it's Us. Okay, pronounced Us. But no, this is the yellow version of the 2 cost searcher event. Okay, then we have Without Your Help, I Can't Become the King of the Pirates with 4 exclamation points. This one is a 4 cost event, the Straw Hat Crew type. The effect is counter, a 4 cost counter, guys. This better be crazy here, guys. 4 cost counter, up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this battle. No, immediately should have been this turn. I don't even have to read any further than that. It's a 4 cost counter. It should be plus 1,000 for the turn minimum. But then it says, then if you have 1 or less life cards, play up to 1 of your yellow Straw Hat Crew type character cards or Sanji with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. That is good. I'm not going to lie. That's really good, but this is a 4 cost event. So in other words, instead of me playing out a 4 cost Sanji or less, I have to just sit on this event and just... No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a fan of this card whatsoever. I'm not saying it has no potential. There might be a deck in the future, maybe that has like purple-yellow or green-yellow, like Dawn restanding type of effects here, where you can like play out your whole turn and then end a turn, stand up a bunch of Dawn, and cheat out a character. Like maybe there's going to be a green, excuse me, maybe there will be a, hang on, up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains plus 1,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 1 or less life cards, play up to 1 of your yellow Straw Hat Crew type character cards or Sanji with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So maybe there will be a world in which you can, I don't know. I have no idea, guys. I'm just not a big fan of this card. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Okay, now we have another Merry-Go. This is a yellow version. It's a 2 cost Straw Hat Crew type stage. It is, the effect is activate main. You may rest this stage and turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face up. Okay, you may rest this stage and turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face up. Up to 1 of your Straw Hat Crew type characters gains plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can add, okay, so it's meant more for the Straw Hat Crew stuff. Obviously, it can only buff Straw Hat type characters, but it will give them it will give your character plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. That gives me some crazy ideas with like Red Yellow Sabo making a Straw Hat Crew version and see what my top life card is and go from there. So I mean, I guess that is kind of interesting, but I'm just not a huge fan of this. No, maybe this is pretty good. Maybe this is pretty good, guys, because I guess if I play this out as like a 2-drop going second, and then like next turn, hang on, next turn, 4 Dawn, play out Zoro, attach a Dawn, use this, but then he'll be a 7,000, but at the same time, so I guess maybe I could swing for 2 6s or something. He'll be a 6K on the crackback. So maybe there is something to be said here, guys. Maybe the card's not bad, but I'm not a huge fan of it either. Okay, and we got one more card, guys. We got a secret rare to go over, Monkey D. Luffy. We got a 6-cost, 7,000 power, Water 7 Straw Hat Crew type card here. It says, if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, this character gains Rush. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field, okay, then this character gains Rush. And then it has, when attacking, once per turn, you may return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck and set this character as active. Then add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. Okay, that's interesting, right? That's actually very interesting. It's a 6-cost 7K, and it's probably usually going to have Rush. So that is very good. Let me say that right now. If you can consistently go, 6 Dawn turn, swing for 7K with this character, that is very good. So let me think about this in like Nico Robin, because she can ramp, right? So if we're running Nico Robin going first, right? Okay, so we'll go 1, 3, 6, and they'll be on 2, 4. How unfortunate. But going second, I guess we could do it. Going second, it wouldn't matter, though, because we were going to hit 6 on curve anyway. So they definitely played around the Nico Robin specifically. I think they specifically built this character so you could not use it in Nico Robin as a rush card. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. But yeah, still a very cool card. I think it's still a very powerful card. It just doesn't benefit from you ramping Dawn, basically. But later on it will, right? I mean, later on, I guess if you need to, like if this card survives 1 turn, I mean, think about this. If you have to go for lethal, swing 7 with leader, that's 2 Dawn, and then maybe load up 6 Dawn on this guy, swing 13, rest, or do the effect, you may return 2 of your active Dawn cards to your Dawn deck, and then set this character as active and add a card from your life to your hand, and then swing for 13 more for like a big alpha strike. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I think this is still a very solid card. Very cool card. You're definitely going to want a few of these if you're playing Purple Straw Hats. Then we have the alt art for it. This is the alt art. Very cool looking, but I think this looks so much better. I'm a huge fan of how this looks, whereas this one just looks kind of cool to me. But then finally, we got the manga. The manga looking sharp. All right, guys, that's about it. So just to kind of go over things, I think these new leaders look really cool. All the new gold alt art or gold foil leaders. I think these look very cool. But just to kind of go over the cards real quick, I can't wait to get my hands on the new Sabo. We're just kind of summarizing now, guys. Don't worry. This new Chopper got a lot of new support, guys. Chopper got a lot of new support. Fake Straw Hat Crew. I can imagine this being decent in any kind of just aggro red list. Yamato, can't wait to get my hands on this. This card seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Cloven Rose Blizzard, like I said, the red green the red green Chopper support seems really good in here, guys. I wasn't a huge fan of any of the stages, to be honest. Green Purple Luffy, this might be a pretty good leader. I really need to try this out before I can give like an accurate, a more precise reading on that leader. Arlong, I think this card is going to be gas in green yellow Arlong, and that new alt art's incredible. Not a big fan of the Gammon Starfunkel combo. Carrot looks really good, a great 2K counter, just like the Iceberg we saw. This new Jory Bonnie I wish was a little bit better, but it's not bad. Chopper Man, this looks really good. Again, just a really good card to play out on a 5-Dawn turn for your red-green Chopper decks. Nami, a great green searcher. Maybe that will go in the Chopper decks. Who knows how they'll build it. This new Buggy and green-yellow Arlong, cannot wait to play with that. The new Zora was pretty good as well, tapping down characters and running into them. All of these new 2-cost events, of course, look great. Okay, Usopp. Yeah, this card was kind of cool. It's like they're trying to make blue-green Sanji. Not Zanji. Well, I guess maybe Zanji, too. But blue-green Sanji, they're trying to make that work here. It could be something interesting. This new Crocodile, I think, is going to... I think they're going to mess with this in Blue Doffy. I feel like they might. Who knows? Soga King seems like it's going to be pretty good this card seems like it's going to be pretty good in Nami to bounce back your Kaias more efficiently. Okay, but maybe not. You guys tell me. For the Nami players, is this card good or not? I don't play enough Nami to know. Rosinante, great searcher for blue-green Rosinante. Nefeltari Vivi is going to be incredible in our green-blue Zanji. This Vista was extremely disappointing to me. I'm sorry, guys. I just couldn't get over how bad this one was. I wish it was better. Ace, good at blue-yellow ace support. This event could be really strong if it works the way I was saying. If it's just for the rest of the turn, every single time a card gets KO'd in battle, you can instead trash a card from your hand. Seems good. It's not events, by the way. It's not from effects, I mean. It's from KO in battle. Still very good. Okay, here's the Iceberg Searcher, like the Carrot Searcher. Very nice. This new Sanjian Pudding, I can't wait to mess around with this. I think this card, number one, I absolutely love the art on this. I don't know what it is. This seems like the composition, these characters, the way they look. This seems like a match made in heaven, too. Just so good. So good. So good, guys. So good. Nico Robin, this is actually a great blocker, guys. This blocker is great. Okay, this blocker is, it's great, right? Got Tony the Tiger in here. Frankie, this card's pretty decent as well. It's not as good as like the 3-cost 4K SR Brook from EB-01, but this is still a very useful card. Magellan, I have to do some more brainstorming on this. I don't know. Someone explained this event to me. I have no idea. Okay, Marigo. This card's probably going to be pretty decent, just helping protect the board, drawing a card, cycling, and all that. Sengoku and Trafalgar Law. Cannot wait to get my hands on these. Hilden, I think, should have done more cost reduction. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. Blue Nose, okay. Brook was pretty good. Love the Altar for this Brook. This new Garp, I can't wait to revisit Red-Black Garp with this card. Cannot wait for that. And then, of course, for yellow, this Enel is really the star of the show in yellow, guys. Like, this card, I think this might take, like, Calgara and Enel to new heights. No pun intended, right? Sky Island. Well, I guess it's, yeah, Sky Island. I was going to say, because I know, like, Shandor and Warriors, another thing, whatever. Anyway. Okay, Olga was okay. I thought that was kind of cool. Sanji was really good. I think this is a very good card. 2K counter Jinbei, that's fine. This is a great utility card. This Vegapunk is very interesting. I'm anxious to see what people cook up with this. Mad Treasure, wasn't really feeling that card. This card I wasn't feeling either. And then this Marigo was interesting. And then, of course, the Secret Rare Luffy. I think this card's good as well. All right, that's it, guys. We're done. We are absolutely done. Hang on one second. We do have one more thing we have to go over, guys. We now have to go over a game on the sim. Just give me a moment to get set up, and we will rock and roll. We have a game of green-purple. What is going on here? There we go. We have a game of green-purple Doffy versus red-blue Marco. It's actually a pretty long game, so let's get straight into it. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. This was a real nail-biter. This was a banger. Notice I have a lot of ramp in this deck. I have not discovered what is the best way to run green-purple Doffy will be. And let me say this, guys. Tonight, at the time of recording this video, on tonight's stream, we're going to be going over a green-black E-show list. But probably tomorrow, we'll be messing around with green-purple Doffy on stream. Trying to figure it out. Okay, so we ramp it on there with the it's to die for. That's fine. We could have gotten extra attack in, but that's okay. And now let's see what my opponent does. They're going to swing for 6. I think we're going to probably take this one. We get a Searcher Baby 5. I'm running the Sugar and Baby 5 Searcher, and I'm running tons of ways to ramp Dawn. We're going to ramp. And then now we're up to 8. We'll play out the Baby 5, swing for 5, your turn. They do take that one because remember they counted out of the last one. They're getting low on hand size. They decide to counter, or they decide to take that. I think that was pretty wise. Okay, we have 2 Dawn left for the turn. They're going to play out an Imperial Ivankov, cheating out a Duval, setting their top 3 cards, and now they have, you know, some attacks coming in. Let's see what they choose to attack with. Okay, 6 and a 5. I think we're going to 2K counter out of this. I don't want to dip too low, even though I have lots of Searcher events. I don't have my 8 Dawn, 5 Dawn combo here, guys. Like, okay, nice. Well, we got to, never mind. I was going to say nice, but that really wasn't that great. So right here, I just want to establish a body. I'm going to go 5 and a 5. I'm going to force him to give me a counter or give me the blocker. Either one's fine with me. And then I'm going to probably just slam down a Doflamingo, guys. The 10-cost Doffy, because I can lock down his leader. I can lock down his body, and now he's going into his 8 Dawn turn, right? Because we have done some crazy ramping. He's going to 2K counter out. Very nice. So we got a card out of his hand. We locked down his board, and we've got a 10-cost on the board. Okay, let's see what happens next. I couldn't use my Baby 5 because remember, guys, green-purple Doffy stands 2 Dawn at the end of your turn, so I couldn't use the search there, unfortunately. Okay, looks like he's going to do a face check for... Oh, no, excuse me. I was going to say he's swinging for 5, but remember, I locked down his leader. Okay, he's going to use the Marco leader effect here to do -2,000 to the Baby 5. He's going to swing for 4. And I'm going to use the stage there to draw a card off that. Very nice. I appreciate him doing that. And now now it's my turn. Nice. I got to the 8-cost character. I got to the 8-cost Doffy to cheat out the other Doffy. And now that I've already used, so 7 into 4 real quick. Hang on a second, guys. I'm swinging 7 into 4. This card should go away, or he can give me the blocker. Either one's fine with me. But hear me out. Now that I've ramped to 10 Dawn, right? Now that I've ramped to 10 Dawn, that It's to Die For is a perfect card to trash with my Rosinante's effect to draw 2 cards. Okay, so it's not quite a dead card because of the 5-cost Rosinante, right? That is very useful. Okay, let's see if he chooses to guard this card. I don't think there's any reason to guard this. Save the blocker so I can't attack into more stuff. Because if you give me the blocker, I'm going to swing 10 more into it. And it's going to be gone, and then you lose the blocker and you lose the guy. Okay, that's fine with me. Again, I'm not letting him have that card. That card generates a lot of advantage, and it's not as easy to protect as that Newgate is. If I swung into the Newgate, he could have gone 2k counter, 1k counter, and saved it. If he wants to save this Emporio Ivankov, it will be 2, 4, 6, 1. 4 cards out of his hand. Now we're going to play out the Rosinante, Dawn -1 to cheat out the... Play out the Doflamingo, Dawn -1 to play out the Rosinante, trashing It's to Die For to draw 2, and now I stand 4 Dawn up at the end of my turn, 2 from my leader, 2 from my character. And we've got a pretty healthy board here, guys, but guess what? Red Blue Marco, they are no stranger to having a big board size, right? They definitely have a big board as well. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to use the leader effect, give -2,000 to my Rosinante, obviously, and that way they can pop that. They play out the Sanji, cheating out a Newgate, popping the Rosinante with the fresh Newgate, and then they're going to swing in for 9, and then they're going to swing in for 6. We're going to have to use this right here. I was looking for a 2k counter there. We don't get a 2k counter there, so that's less than ideal. We do get a sugar, so I think we're just going to use a 2-cost event. We have to. I don't have any other choice. Unless I want to go down to 1 life. And what I desperately need right now is a Noro Beam Sword. Okay, he swings in for 5. I have to use that aggressively. There it is. That's what we needed, guys. That was the card that we desperately needed to have any chance at winning this game. We're going to go 10 into 8. Let's see what they do. 10 into 8 will cost 2 cards from hand. I will say this, though. I should have swung into the... whatever his name is first. But okay, we're going to play out the Rosinante, trashing a card. I was like, okay, I'm just searching now because I think I'm just dead. I think I'm just dead meat here. But watch this, guys. It's not over yet. It might look over, guys, but trust me, it is not over yet. Play out Viola. Okay, swing 5 into 5. Let's see if he chooses to take this. Or let it go, rather. Okay, just waiting for my opponent here. They're just taking a little bit of time. Let's see if they have it. All right. Again, just waiting on my opponent. This should not be a hard decision. You just protect the card at all cost, right? You protect this card at all cost. All right. So here we go. Again, guys, we're just waiting on my opponent at this point. I'm going to fast forward in a second here. Let's see what okay, they're going to give a 2k counter. Yep, that was the right call 100% of the time. Good job to my opponent there for making the right call. Otherwise, it's just not good. So they play out a Doflamingo. On KO, I'm going to search up a the make fun of the whatever that I can't remember what that purple event's called. Something like Don't Make Fun of My Family or something like that. So they're going to swing in for 9. We're going to Nora Beam Sword, tap down the Newgate, go plus 2,000, and then we're going to 2k to get out of it. Okay, 2k 1k obviously to get out of the 9, get to 10. So now they only have 2 more attacks. I guess they technically could have a 3rd attack, but let's see what happens. This guy was pretty smart. He did things pretty well. But we do get a little lucky in this one, guys. You'll see what happens. Okay, swing for 9. Conversation time. Pop quiz. All right, what do you do here? Do you counter out of this one that you know you can counter out of? Or do you take it? The answer, there is only one answer, by the way. There is only one answer to this. You take it every time. Because here's why. If I counter out, he knows he swung for 9 for a very specific reason. 9 means it's going to be my last 2-cost event, and whatever card's left in my hand, whether it's a 1k counter or a 2k counter, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If I do that, he loads 3 Dawn on his Ezo, and that attack will go through no matter what, and then he swings for 8 with his Marco, and I can't get out of it. So you have to take this hit. It's not an option. It's not like, oh, another play line. No, unless you're depending on some kind of trigger or something. I don't know. I don't know. You have to take this though. So here we go. I do have to think about this. I'm doing the math. I'm like, wait a minute. However, if I take this, here's the scary part. Okay, pause. One more thing we have to talk about. If I take this though, I go down to 0 life, and now he can load all 6 Dawn. That's 11 Dawn on, or well, excuse me, that's 11,000 power to swing in with Marco. That's 11,000 power to swing in with the Marco. Okay. I only have 11k in hand right now, right? I can only get to 11k in hand. 6 plus 5 is 11. So this last life just has to be a 1k counter or 2k counter. It just simply has to be. Okay. Anything else I can get out of. Taking this, okay, or like if it's not a 1k or 2k counter, then I can't win. So that's I basically decided, okay, I have to chance it because otherwise I lose on the spot, like I said. Where it's like if I counter out of this, he swings for 5, 3 Dawn on Ezo, swing for 5, and then swings for 7 with leader, and I lose. It was a 2k counter. All we needed was a 1k, but a 2k counter will definitely take that. And here we go. Now he has to go all in. He must. He just simply must go all in here. I mean, I guess, yeah, no, I think he has to go all in. So he's going to swing for 11. Okay, well, we're going to use Spiderweb, stand up that character, +2/+2. And here we go. Let's see. I think he should have left at least 1 Dawn active, guys, because that would have really scared me and spooked me. And I probably, you know, if he has a Rad Beam, we're about to see, right? If he has a Rad Beam, we're about to find out. Because if he had a Rad Beam, he shouldn't have gone all in there. Because I only have 4 attacks, and all 4 have to get through him. So right here, I have to do the math. So what's the math, guys? I always try to tell people this trick. Add up all the power of characters on the board, then add the Dawn that you can give, and then divide it by the number of characters that are attacking. So in other words, we have a 6,000 power and a 5,000 power, right? That's 11, plus 9 is 20, plus 10 is 30, plus 10 Dawn is 40, divided by 10, or divided by 4 is 10,000, right? So I have 4 10,000 power attacks. However, I want to get a little greedy. I'd rather go 9, 9, 11, 11. Because I feel like he only has 2 cards in his hand. 9 will go through no matter what on this first attack. If you wanted to get super greedy, you could have tried for a 7, but why would you do that? Just go 9, 9, 11, 11. I think that's just the answer, guys. So I think that's what I do. Or I could also go 9, 10. Instead of 9, 9, 11, 11, I could go 9, 10, 10, 11. Okay, waiting for any triggers. There's nothing he can get here. And he actually tries to do a trigger right here. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5,000 power or less. That's not going to do it. So here we go. So now you just told me, like, he shouldn't have done that because now I know another 9,000 is going to go through. Like, there's no way to get out of it with no Dawn active. And now I'm going in for 11. So now I'm doing 9, 9, 11, 11. And here we go. He would have to have all 2Ks and a 1K. He had a 2K, 1K, 1K, and a 2K. So he almost had it. He did almost have it, guys. Right? Let me see what he had at the end there. He got to 9, and then the last card would have put him at 11. He was 1K away. What a banger. What a game. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Let's check out the deck list real quick. So here's what we were running today. It's not done. It's not, excuse me, I don't think this is the list. Hang on a second. Let me show you guys the actual list. This is the one I'm working on now after playing. Yeah, this was the list I was running. The other one's what I'm working on. We'll show that in a minute. We'll look at that one in a minute. But this list, it's missing something, guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And don't worry, tomorrow on stream, we're going to be trying to crack the code on this deck and try to make it good, try to make it work, okay? But this is what I have so far. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Pause it. It was just one game. It was a very good game, but it needs work. The deck does not feel perfect yet. I just know that I really like ramping into like cards like this and cards like this. That feels very good, ramping into these things, into these huge 8 and 10 cost, monsters, these bosses. But we've got some work to do. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed this. This video ran way longer than I thought it would. Big shout out to everybody who supports me, guys. There we go. For anyone who's liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, hopping on the Discord, being a part of the community, contributing in any way to the channel, I really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody over here on the VV Pirates Playmat supporter page here. Thank you guys so much for buying the mat and supporting me in that way. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the playmat. And then then also the members page on YouTube. I need to update this soon for everybody who's helping me out by becoming a member. For those who don't know about members, people who are members on my YouTube can watch all of my old stream VODs. And guys, this is an extra 10 hours of content a week. If you show up for the stream, you can watch it live for free. But if you want access to all the old streamer VODs, guys, it's $3 a month for 10 extra hours a week. So it ends up being, think about it. So for $3 a month, you're getting access to 40 hours of extra content a month. So now, yes, you can always just watch the streams live, right? But you guys get the idea. Okay. So, and then last but not least, the patrons. Thank you guys so much to the VV Pirates patron page. Thank you for helping me out in all the ways you do, keeping the channel going, keeping the dream alive. Really, I really appreciate it. All right, I'm done. Until next time, guys, please do not forget to like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about EB-02. Tell me what you thought about this green-purple Doffy list, this monstrosity, you know, that we just looked at. And until next time, guys. Oh, and don't forget to hop on the stream tonight either. Almost forgot. Do not forget to hop on the stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, until next time, guys. Peace.